The following podcast is brought to you by Radio WICV. Feel free to check us out in the link below.
You're Goofy Gooba Rock. We're all Goofy Goobas Rock. Okay, in all sincerity, what's up, peeps? Sketchcast is back. It's here. It's queer. Get used to it. But with that said and done, I'm just going to introduce my guest right off of the beat. It's another freshman, but this one is also a very, very positive influencer, if I do say myself. It's Gale Bruell, however you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Say hi, Gale.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me, Eli.
Absolutely. Like after you were on the My Wife podcast, and after we
yes.
chatted a lot about why Shrek is the greatest thing in the world, which we'll get into. but like after all that, I figured like why not bring you on this show?
I'm so excited to be here.
Nice, you should be. Okay, so with that said and done, I guess we can officially get this started. So, my first question to you is, when did you realize that you wanted to be an artist?
When did I realize I wanted to be an artist? That's pretty easy. That was right after I gave up on being an astronaut at about 6 or 7. When did my parents realize I wanted to be an artist is much more interesting because, they expected me to be a performing artist right up until I applied to art schools, for college,
Nice.
which was kind of a shocker for me. I thought it was obvious.
You've done performance art thing, I take it.
Yes, I have. That was pretty much my whole life, up until Micah. And it's not like I don't do it anymore.
Right. I mean, that's kind of going to go into another question, but like that.
Awesome. Yeah.
I actually didn't really think you've done performance art, like whether it's live or recorded. Like, you know, I do think that it's pretty fascinating to see people express themselves with their bodies in a sense, whether it's like actual acting or just, you know, visual metaphor or something. Like that's really interesting. Now my next question, I guess. You kind of brought up your parents a bit, but like how much support did you gain from your folks growing up?
So my parents are super smart. I was a little bit of a black sheep, although, you know, they were very supportive of my artistic endeavors. But my mom, Dr. Reinagel, is a professor at UCSD, and my dad's been running tech startups, you know, since before I was born. And my brother is deciding right now between MIT and Caltech for college. So yeah, I got a lot of support. But you know, from an interesting place because they were all scientists. It's not like they expected me to follow in their footsteps. They just yeah. But they've been really great about getting me resources. In high school, my dad actually decided, he said, you know, you need to take traditional figure drawing classes. And so he enrolled me at the Watts Atelier Academy of the Arts.
Nice. In
Encinitas, San Diego, which was my first ever formal art training and my last up until my never took any other two-dimensional art classes.
Nice.
In high school. Yeah, that was so great for me. I'm really thankful that he did that.
Yeah, that actually kind of makes me think of my parents. So like they're not artists of themselves by any means, but like they were very like I was fortunate to have very open-minded parents. Like they always knew like I had a fascination for the arts, so they were like, hey, well let's put you in a cartooning school, and that's kind of like what sprung me up. So I definitely were related to other people who you know, had parents who said like, hey, why don't you do this? And not the parents who were just like, you want to do that? Pfft, yeah, right. Go back to your studies.
Yeah, or even parents, you know, who like don't really understand it but are still encouraging of an artistic life.
Yeah, definitely. I think I do find it important to like value your kids' minds of like what they want to do, because like if you say like, oh, you shouldn't do this, that, then you don't really care about your kid's passion, and it's not really gonna favor the kid in the long run.
No, yeah, you're gonna be more successful if you're doing what you care about. So, I agree.
Yeah. Anyway, so I guess you kind of mentioned like 2D traditional art, but that kind of goes into my next question. Do you prefer doing traditional art or digital art?
So I'm a total, I wouldn't say I'm a traditional snob, but I'm one of those people who's a bit, digitally inept. And I have been aware for a long time of how much of a problem that is. I'm definitely not one of those people who think, digital art is stupid. I just don't do it. And I realize what a shortcoming that is, especially since I just declared my major in architectural design.
Nice.
Yeah, which involves a lot of digital work. I'm realizing that I really have to step it up and start teaching myself digital art, even though I'm less comfortable with it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No, I get that. Like, digital art is like a whole other can of worms. I think... I don't think I really dabbled that much in digital art until I was in, like, high school even.
Yeah.
Like, the most I did was, like, just dumb little stick figure animations, which is, kind of a... just something anyone can do, but, like, I do kind of know, like, the difference. Like, whenever I see, like, traditional artists, like, make a really well-crafted piece, I'm like, oh my god, that must have taken them weeks. Whereas, like, a digital artist, they can do that in, like, less than a week even, if they have the right tools.
I totally appreciate the value that digital art brings to the art world, and every time I do it, it's super fun. I just am so intimidated by it. It kind of feels the way around to me, where if I look at a digital piece, I say I wouldn't even know where to start with that. I don't even know what size canvas to use or what programs to use.
Right.
Yeah, I was really hoping that at MICA I'd be able to get myself into some just super foundational core digital arts classes, like, I don't know, Adobe Suite 101.
Right.
But it kind of seems like at this point, you're expected to come in with already an understanding of that or self-teach. So.
Yeah, like, to have... I think it's important to have some... just a little bit of knowledge on some course that they're doing, like, if you've decided at least. Like, of course some people don't know what they're gonna do, but, like, if you have something in mind, like, just learn up some knowledge on the subject, and then you'll get far at that point.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time on Instagram right now watching CAD videos.
CAD?
Yeah, of people just making shapes.
Nice.
in CAD. Yeah, so I'm getting there. I'm getting over the hump.
This the hump, the artist hump. Ow. Anyway, so you're from... rumor has it that you're from California.
Absolutely.
So get the fuck out of the East Coast. But no, in all sincerity, so what is it like residing here on the East Coast, specifically Baltimore, compared to... what town are you from?
I'm from the way bottom of California. Not the way bottom. I'm about an hour and a half away from the border. I'm from the county of San Diego, which I love dearly. Sandieg, yeah. I had never heard Sandy or Sandieg until I came here. I swear nobody in San Diego calls it that. Or maybe I'm just out of the loop.
That's funny, because California is a pretty hipsterish town. But anyway, so, like, what's it like residing here compared to the West Coast?
Well, let's see. A lot of the difference is just the, closeness together of things. So San Diego's a pretty suburban area. We have our downtown, but I spent most of my life, if I wanted to get somewhere, you get in the car, know, and here, if I want to get somewhere, I get on transit or the bike.
Right.
Which is super cool. I do not like driving, and so I'm kind of enjoying that. And, as far as the weather, it didn't feel like much of a shock. There is one thing I've noticed, though, about more equatorial people, when they come to a northern clime and experience cold, you don't really realize what cold actually does to you. So you just think like,
Right.
oh, I'm a little uncomfortable. Because if you're cold in San Diego, that lasts, whatever, a day.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
some cold days in California are like nothing compared to up here.
Yeah, or even, you know, like you think, I'm cold, but it's not a problem. It's like, it's not something that's going to actually affect my health.
Right.
But, so, you know, like you come up to where it's actually cold and you're walking around all day at, whatever, 35 degrees without a sweater, and then you say, why am I getting sick? Why is my immune system compromised? Because you don't realize that cold actually affects your body, and it's not just a discomfort to be brushed off.
Yeah, that's... I love how the climate changes can, like, differentiate from people. I don't know if you noticed, but during the making of The Princess Bride, you know that movie?
Oh, yeah.
The person who played Buttercup, Robin Wright, she's from initially from Texas, and I think they filmed the movie in England or Ireland or something.
Yeah.
And like she wasn't even used to that type of really cold weather, and more often than not, I think she fainted on set.
Oh my gosh. Holy crap. Yeah. Yeah, I always say that I've got a little bit of northeastern blood in me because both my parents are from New York, and I was born in Massachusetts. Yeah.
Where are they so I can give them a good old New Jersey hug? Come over here, you.
Oh, man. My stepdad's from New Jersey, if you want one of those.
Nice.
Yeah. I really, and most of my extended family lives on the East Coast and in the Northeast. Yeah, my mom just got a job in UCSD, and we all the way over to San Diego.
Nice.
But, you know, as expensive as it is to live there,
Oh, yeah.
and as much as I, you know, wouldn't go back after college there, you know, I love it so much because I grew up with it, you know.
If you wouldn't, like, go back there even for a job, where would you go?
Well, I really want to stay in Baltimore
Oh,
for
really?
a bit after college. Yeah, I'm getting really attached to it. I mean, I have been for a while, ever since I started looking at MICA, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely got a charm here and there.
Absolutely. It is a gorgeous city. I fall more in love with it every day.
Yeah, that's interesting though. Like which is interesting. Like I'm not as like familiar with your major, but like I imagine there's a big precedent for that type of job like anywhere around the country, because architect is something that a lot of basically almost the entire country needs.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like animation or cartooning where you go to
Well, you don't just go to LA. You go to New York. You go to
Okay, yeah.
You go to anywhere now, really.
Yeah, but the big spots.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to be able to practice architecture in Baltimore because I have a lot of feelings about Baltimore architecture. It's one of my favorite parts of the city, the juxtapositions between old and new, and you know, obviously I have a lot of feelings about housing here because
Right.
I'm about to move off campus and stuff.
Wow. Yeah, and you're only a freshman.
Not next year, but you know, I'm planning for when I move off campus as a junior.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, my roommate and I are planning to live off campus soon. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I definitely kind of want to get off as soon as possible, just because, I don't know, it's built into your day to be out of the campus bubble. I like that.
You can only stay in a bubble for so long.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, now that leads me to my next question. Of all the colleges to go to, why exactly did you choose MICA?
MICA was my dream school.
Oh, really?
In let's see, the summer before junior year. Yeah, I did a college tour, and you know, I liked Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Art. The museum's awesome.
Yeah.
The people are sweet.
This is probably the wrong school I'm thinking of, but I don't think they have food at PCAD. They don't have a cafe.
Not PCAD, but PAFA is super, super small.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's like, it's different from all the other ones I looked at in that it's a fine school. It's not an art and design school.
Right.
So, you know, like there you do crochet and figure drawing and
Nice.
charcoal and stuff, which I'm super into, of course, but I needed a more diverse education. RISD, the vibes were all off.
No, not
Yeah,
really.
the only reason I wanted to go to RISD, which was really stupid, was that there was a guy in high school whom I really admired. he was like, I had English with him for a few years, and he was so smart, and he was going to Brown, and I thought, oh man, if Zach is going to Brown, you know, like, I want to go to RISD and take classes at Brown.
Right.
But, you know, it's really stupid to base your college decision after just one person who you know, respect. And then, Chicago, SAIC, the vibes are also kind of off.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see any student art up, not to like trash other art schools, but it wasn't right for me, you know. Loved the city so much, so many Frank Lloyd Wright houses I saw on that trip, but when I was there, I just like, you know, I could tell. And then Micah, it was love at sight. It really was. Especially like, you know, when I walked into Station North, that was when my heart rate really started picking up, and I said, God, I have to be here. I have to be here.
I've had a spiritual awakening.
Yeah. So it was like, it was easy.
Yeah, I know. Actually, I do relate to that too. It's like, I mean, initially, I don't know how much I knew about Micah when I was about to graduate high school, but I kind of want to start it off to just start off small. So like, I went to a 2-year art school like immediately after high school, but as I was like about to graduate, I was looking at other places, and you know, there were a lot of nice places around, but when I toured around Micah, I was like, this is it. Yeah. This is a place. This is a good place to be. Not to trash any other places I looked at.
No, right, but it's right for some people, and I totally know people at this school, you know, who like, or you know, who have left since last semester who just realized it wasn't right for them. So it really, you know, really is like you find that it's like online dating.
Right, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm definitely glad to have known a good amount of people here. I'm sure you do too.
Yeah, there's some awesome people here.
Yeah, which actually just leads me into my next question. Would you say you've made more friends here than you did, like, even growing up?
Let's see. Yeah, when I was a kid, I didn't make any friends. You know,
I barely had friends growing up, so I relate.
Yeah, I was friends with, you know, the neighbor or whoever my mom set me up on play dates with. And then in middle school, I got a little bit better at making friends. And then in high school, I honestly got pretty great at it, and I felt so bizarrely popular compared to middle school. And I feel like it's just gotten, you know, better as I've gotten here, which I think, you know, has more to do with just me growing up than being in an environment of like-minded people, because my interests are pretty diverse. My mom just visited the other day, and she was saying, so like, how is it, you know, not being around people and not being around STEM people a lot and just talking about art all the time? And I mean, first of all, there are totally people with STEM interests here who I can talk to. Not as many as in high school, but
define STEM.
It's science, technology,
okay,
or something, in math. Yeah, I totally, you know, I love art just a little bit more than I love science.
Yeah, which is funny too, because I got a science class here, although it's animation related, so it's a bit of a weird combo.
I'm not planning on taking any science classes at Micah because I've had the opportunity to take them at Johns Hopkins, and I really, really am looking forward to that. OChem on the list. Want to take a psychology course, stats, multivariate.
So you're gonna take class at different schools simultaneously?
So I'm surprised you didn't know about it. We have a dual enrollment thing with Johns Hopkins.
Yeah,
and a couple that are nearby. I think BU and exactly. So and apparently it's common for architectural design students specifically to take engineering at Johns Hopkins. So the schedule is a bit more accommodating. And I'm super looking forward to that.
Nice.
But yeah, what was I talking? You're asking about making friends. And yeah, I really think that, you know, I'm just making more friends now because I am a more mature person than I was.
I definitely relate. I think, like, personally, if you're introverted, you tend to find, like, more friends or so, like, outside, like, after you grow up for a certain point, and then you, like, you know, you've grown past a certain stage in your life, and you finally feel, like, confident enough to say like, "Hey, what's up, dude?" Like, "Hey, how are you?" Blah 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 blah.
Exactly. Yeah, it really comes down to confidence.
Yeah, that's definitely something to agree on. Okay.
Happy 420.
Wait, it's not for 420 though.
It is.
It is?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Anyway, sorry to derail. Go ahead.
Anyone who's listening to this is like, wait, what? It's not April 20th yet. I can't smoke this.
Oh no. Yeah.
No, it's just he's
4:20 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right, because at the time of recording, it's officially 4:20 p.m. I am tired.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. Animation classes, it does that to you.
I bet.
Anyway, so I think the latter half of this are just going to be a bunch of fun questions. So, how much do you agree that Shrek is both love and life?
So Shrek was my favorite movie as a child, way before the memes started, and I hated the memes. I, thought they were disrespectful and inappropriate to this piece of art that was, really formative to me, and I thought that the memes ruined Shrek, but now I've taken it in my stride. I appreciate that the memes are bringing more visibility to Shrek, and that people are watching it again, and it's popular. So I'd say I agree on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm around a 5 that Shrek is love and Shrek is life in the meme sense, but in just the literal sense of those words, Shrek actually taught me more about love. I'm being deadly serious.
All girls have layers, just like onions. You get it?
I learned so much more about love from Shrek than I did from any other media in anything I read or watched or listened to.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it really, it taught me a lot. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, because, and also, I know you said, I don't like the memes, but if I can play devil's advocate, when Shrek came out, it was so unique and fresh.
Yeah.
When Shrek 2 came out, it took that up to, 11. I fucking love that movie even more. Shrek the 3 came out, and it was like, oh, fuck, they really screwed up.
I mean,
And then Shrek 4 came out, and I was like, well, at least it's the final movie. So, and then people just kind of gave up on Shrek. So, when the memes popped up, it was a sort of a resurgence of people's nostalgia.
A renaissance.
Although, you could blame 4chan for that.
Yeah, exactly.
4chan.
It's perhaps a necessary evil, or at least a blessing and a curse, the memes. So, I don't hate them anymore.
Right.
But, I don't like people thinking that the memes are the reason I like Shrek, because I really just love Shrek.
Yeah, it makes me think, I enjoy, anything that's memeified, fucking, I don't know, regular show or Futurama, the memes are funny, but I enjoy the actual content
because
more.
The content is funny itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Shrek doesn't need weird sex jokes to be funny. It's already got weird sex jokes in it. Just watch it.
Yeah, exactly. It's got all that good shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so, next question, Rooney. What the fuck is zoogle?
What the fuck is zoogle? So I gave a little lecture on zoogle on Where's My Wife.
You actually gave that's so cool.
A lecture, yeah. I've given the zoogle lecture a couple times now. I don't have time to read it all out for you now because it's like a 7-minute lecture. But
we have time.
Also, I'm not sure I have it with me.
Oh,
I actually have it written out. I know. But man, I mean, if you want to hear about zoogle, I can give you this short and sweet right now, and then.
Okay, yeah, abridge it.
Enlighten. Feel free to hit me up for more of the lore.
Enlighten the viewers.
All right. So zoogle is a game, a hand-eye coordination game that is basically fundamentally catch, but with a stick instead of a ball or a frisbee or whatever. And it was invented by a dude in the late 70s, and then it totally transcended him and surpassed him. And, you know, like, he invented it as a kid's game, but it became a hiking game that people play with walking sticks on the trail. And so that's where I learned it from and where most people know it through. I just think it's really interesting that its origins are so concrete and so different from where it is today. But yeah, I was introduced to zoogle by a close friend, Anthony Culp, on campus, who learned it.
Shout out to Where's My Wife again.
Yes, Where's My Wife on Radio WICV.
Every Monday at
4, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's like the fuck. What am I? Some sort of like competitor? All of a sudden, like, no, don't mention it. You're gonna lose viewers.
No, because they're at different times. You can listen to both Sketchycast and Where's My Wife.
Exactly.
And I recommend both of them.
Aww.
I'm pretty sure. I was talking about zoogle. That's what I was doing. Yeah. So Anthony learned zoogle on the Appalachian Trail and brought it to Micah, and it's, you know, become a bit of a cult happening among some of the freshmen.
A bit of a, if I may, cult happening.
Oh my God! Wow!
Sorry, Anthony.
We need a moment for that. That was brilliant.
Oh man, I am going to hell for that.
No, that was so great. It absolutely is a cult. Yeah.
Oh God, this is exactly why my parents dropped me off at Micah. It's like, oh God, we can't deal with him anymore.
Oh no.
But yeah, interesting way to talk about one of the coolest fucking laid back sports ever.
Yeah. I basically equate it to Frisbee, the way it happens. You know, I'd never experienced it anywhere else, but here. But it is more mainstream than that, actually. Apparently people play it, you know, on the West Coast, too.
Yeah, I figured it was just like a one...
some one guy.
Yeah, just like only a certain amount of people know, but apparently it's a little more broad.
It is a little more broad than that. I really expected that it was just, you know, I don't know, some family thing of Anthony's, but it's not. It's a bit of a nationwide phenomenon.
That's interesting.
Super cool. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So with that said, so at the time we were recording this, which is the day before this episode is uploaded, is International Women's Day, which is a really awesome day to mention. My shout out was given to a very underrated artist, the legendary ex-Disney animator Ellen Woodbury, who animated Zazu in The Lion King, Pegasus in Hercules. She did some of Apu in Aladdin. She also did the was very passionate about computer animation when Disney introduced it during Chicken Little and stuff. And I always loved her really bold artwork and really just really fine construction and all that. So with that said, never mind what I have to say.
No, I mean, it was super cool reading that on your story. I didn't realize how much I loved her as well, and I didn't know her name.
Yeah, and
there you go. Thank you for educating me.
Yeah, now knowing is half the battle. But with that said, who would you say is a woman you look up to, whether it be an artist or a family member, or a friend? Who? Well,
yeah. So I'd say this is, this is the answer of a lot of people, but I think it's a good one. My mom, obviously, You know
who else looks up to my mom? Well, I think I just ruined the joke there.
My mom! Your mom! Yeah, my mom is so cool. She's got a few degrees. That's pretty neat. She is a faculty member at UCSD. I grew up on campus. I always felt really special, telling all my friends that my mom is a college professor. And she has a lab, and sometimes she has grad students who work in it.
How long has she worked there?
Well, since I was born, because since I was 1, she got the job when I was 1, and that's when we moved from Massachusetts.
Almost 20 years.
Almost 20 years, yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing, honestly.
Yeah, and it has been, my whole life, if not hers. And it's pretty important to me. It had a massive influence on me, and it's getting a bit deep, but I I had some, like really internalized sexism experiences when I was a kid, and I mean, we all did, because it's like, in our society, but
like your mom or yourself?
No, myself. Like, I would just in the world find myself in a lot of situations that compounded my internalized sexism. But my mom is the one person who I could always look back to whenever I'd find myself people would be telling me, like, girls are stupid or something. I had a lot of friends when I was a kid who were guys. I mean, like, yeah, most of my friends, middle school and up, even in elementary school. And, like, that is totally still buzz phrase that was going around when I was in elementary school. Like, girls are stupid, Yeah. Boys were stupid as well.
Yeah, also. Everyone's a dumb kid who's like, ew, girls are icky and shit. Like, that's, it's like minor, but it could still lead to, like,
exactly.
Future,
It leads to just, like, some weird, sense of questioning. But I'd always be able to talk to my mom and say, oh, no, that's ridiculous. Of course girls aren't stupid.
No, of course not. Everyone's, special in their own unique way. It doesn't matter if you're a boy or girl, you identify as non-binary or whatever. Yeah. It's like, I don't know, just that whole, like, outdated thing of, like, ew, boys, ew, girls. It's like, kids are just dicks.
Well, I mean, I'd say society's dicks. I don't know if kids would do that of their own accord without being gender segregated so much.
Right.
That is a discussion for another day.
Yeah, let's not. That's a whole other can of worms right there. But but no, it's definitely good that you always had, like, your mom by your side. I definitely, speaking from experience, I can say that without a shadow of a doubt. But,
Yep.
But yeah, that's definitely another person to definitely think about. I think we may have answered almost all the questions, but you know what? Fuck it. Well, before I ask the final one, I'll ask one more quick one. You gonna do more plays in the future here?
Oh my god, I really, really want to.
Specifically, like, any fall plays that could come up here.
Yeah. I'm pretty tied to the theater department. It's been fun as always.
Oh yeah.
We don't have a theater department. We don't have a theater department, guys. The thespian club.
Yeah, basically, we basically just rent out any space that says, like, hey, we're gonna perform a show here at this certain day, so we need this for, like, weeks on end. Yeah, okay, just don't wreck anything.
Yeah. It's actually surprisingly, because my current job that I'm working on campus is in events, so I'm working as a performance-based assistant.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you ever interacted with them, but what Ash was doing during the fall production.
I think.
Yeah, gray hair. Anyway, they're super cool. They're my boss now.
Oh,
or my
nice.
supervisor, my coworker, and it is surprisingly difficult to get a hold of the space for as long as we did. I didn't realize, before working this job, what a big deal it was. But anyway, yeah, it was super fun. I kind of fell in love with doing lights. I'd also like to act in the future if I ever get a chance.
Yeah, you definitely had fun supervising the lights for the fall play. I just remember everyone busting their ass off, and then when the performances, like, everything finally paid off on the actual nights, I was like, we deserved this. We deserved all that, fun praise and stuff.
Yeah, we absolutely did. It was an amazing production, and I was so proud of everyone involved. It was one of the best casts I've ever worked with. And, you say that every time, but
right.
Love them so much. Gonna miss them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, don't say you miss them if you see them again in another play, unless some of them graduate.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss Izzy and Rachel.
Oh, yeah. They were they were fun as supervisors.
They super were. They're an iconic duo.
Izzy and Rachel, the iconic duo.
Yeah. Power couple. Not actually a couple.
Oh,
the record.
that would be fascinating.
It would be fascinating. Yeah.
Spread the love, boys.
No, they're just an awesome director, stage manager duo.
Yeah, they could form their own company if they could.
It'd be great.
Okay, so now we are officially going to wrap this up with the final question, and as I stated before many times, this is the question that I ask everyone, like the last one I ask everyone on this show, but whether it be personal or professional, what would you say have been both the toughest and proudest moments in your life, and how did they impact you?
Oh wow, that's a doozy. I'd say toughest one, coming down with a bad case of the depression in high school.
Hell yeah, the depression,
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, God,
that was always the best.
yeah, that really just tanked my life, and I thought, what did I do to deserve this? My life was great. It's just getting sick. That's what it is. And my proudest to date might have been pulling through that.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's important for people to realize, like, if you have just enough love and support, then like don't actually fall into the really cynical depression state, because like there's a good chance that there's an actual light at the end of the tunnel.
There absolutely is. It's just brain chemistry. Actually, no, I'm gonna edit that. My proudest moments have been when I've been able to help my siblings with their mental health issues. Mostly my younger sister. All my siblings are younger than me, but my older younger sister means a lot to me, and she went through a similar thing to me, and it was one of the most gratifying experiences of my life to be able to support her through that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think hashtags as a siblings to support each other, but it's definitely good to like keep in mind, like, hey, I went through a similar thing. Hang in there. You're gonna get there.
Yeah.
Because I've even chatted with a few people that said like, hey, don't. It's okay. Don't like you're gonna feel like shit one day, but like just keep holding on. Just keep on going. It's not like ending it all is not worth it. Just keep on going. You'll make it yourself out of something, or
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I think that's basically it at this point. We can officially end this. So before we do, Gale, where can people find you?
You can contact me at the.common.knighton.gale on Instagram. That's terrible. Also, it's a private account. But I will give you my information, so when you want to, if you
like, don't mention any private information.
Yeah, no, but like, yeah. Oh man, I'm terrible at publicity. I don't even have a website.
You'll be able to see their stuff on Instagram if you just like say, hey, can I have a request to follow? Can I do it? Are you spam? No.
Absolutely, I will accept your follow request. Yeah. Love Instagram to death.
Yeah, just keep asking them if like, if Shrek 4 is better than Shrek 3 or some shit like that.
Yeah. And I'll be around. Someday I'll have a website.
Someday.
Yeah.
And with that said and done, we can officially end this. So stay tuned next time on Sketchcast. Bye.
Goodbye.